Nets have gone 0 of 4 from the field in the second half, yet to find the mark. Young, a screen on Monroe. Larkin kicks to Young. Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
Good on the second free throw.
Well, some really terrific numbers for Young. He's got 8 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
They set the screen. Carter Williams kicks to Monroe. Fades back. Rebounded by the Nets. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
Well, as you said, guys, I mean, the Bucks struggled early in their series against the Bulls, but they got the momentum and forced a game 6, but then were blown out at home to end the series. Ended up losing by 54. That's right, 54. Wow.
Now here's Carter Williams. Chris Middleton unable to get his last shot to go. Can't hit the free throw line jumper. Nets leading by 4. Feeds to Ellington. Wing shot on the way. That's good, and Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 3 assists in the game.
And as you said, the Bucks lost on their home floor. One thing about that series is the Bucks introduced their new logo. They gave away free playoff tickets to anyone that turned in their old red gear. Not a bad deal in my book.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Over to the left wing. Now here's Carter Williams. Guarded closely. Young with the steal. Now here's Ellington. He has 7. He kicks it to Lopez. Now the feed to Ellington. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shot clock at 6. Here's Young. Milwaukee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Middleton. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got 4 rebounds in this game. Johnson outside. Passes it to Young, and out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. Bucks ball. This break in the game gives us a chance to look at the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. In the third spot, the Bucks.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively, and boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
Johnson over to help. Monroe, the pass to Carter Williams. Back to Monroe. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. And that's now 10 points for Greg Monroe. Nets were pretty far back from relevance at times last season, as we saw. It took a late season hot streak for them, Greg, to get into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that was a neck-and-neck race with the Pacers right till the very end. Not exactly what they had in mind at the start of the season, but they did pull through.
The Bucks making a switch here. Parker's checked in. Larkin kicks to Ellington. Here's Johnson. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Bucks trail by 4.
And, you know, for the Nets, they ended up being bounced out of the first round, fell to the #1 seed Hawks. They put up a good fight against Atlanta and made the series interesting, but still came up short. Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
And for the Nets in the postseason, they did have a good showing despite that early exit. Many people expected the Hawks to sweep, but they took them to 6 games and capped what was an interesting year for Brooklyn overall.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Nets?
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
And he sinks the second.
And listen, the Nets had an up-and-down year on offense last season, but the one thing they always did was finish their drives. Very good at getting things to drop off the bounce. That was a strength last season.
Jared Bayless is checked in for Monroe. Ellington dishes to Johnson. The pass to Larkin. He feeds it to Lopez. Kicks to Johnson. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Johnson's got his second basket of the night. For the Nets, and they're driving. They were fantastic, Clark. Second in the league last year in field goal percentage off those drives.
And a big reason for that is the strength and size of their guards, because they all can finish in traffic, and that's how you get high shooting percentages. You have to make tough shots against contact.
Here's Johnson. Jabari Parker making his last shot. Here's Lopez, and it's sent back by Plumlee. Johnson against Middleton. Johnson attacking, and that one's good.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
Brooklyn making some changes. Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for Young. Bogdanovich comes in for Wayne Ellington. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Shane Larkin. Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. Mayo comes in for Chris Middleton. Here is Bayless. He's got 8. Pass to Henson. He dishes it to Parker. Feeds to Carter Williams. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. Markel Brown, he's checked in for Joe Johnson. The Bucks have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
And I think everyone knew the Bucks would be much improved last season, but to see the jump into the middle of the playoff picture, I think that took everybody by surprise.
Lopez passes to Bogdanovich. Launches a 3. The shot misses. And Milwaukee the other way now. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win, because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
For the Bucks, their improvement, usually you see incremental progress. Even after losing key players, Clark, they shot up the standings.
And part of that, Kevin, was just growing as a team, coming together, and also improving the roster. Another part was that they were better than their record showed 2 years ago. Player development is part of the improvement.
Clark, when you take a look at John Henson, you see one thing, length.
Yeah, a lot of it, too. I mean, he measured 6'9" with a 7'5" wingspan at the 2012 NBA Combine. His standing reach is actually 3.5 inches greater than that of Anthony Davis. Wow.
Right.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And talking about Henson, obviously the great length helps him as a shot blocker. The young center is also very quick off his feet. He's averaged around 2.5 blocks a game over the past 2 seasons. He's also been contributing some as a rebounder, though really needs to add some weight to kind of take it to that next step.
Here is Bayless. 8 points for him. Back to Carter Williams. Shot clock at 5. Here's Parker. Lopez with the block. Brown kicks to Lopez. And Henson pulls it down.
Getting back to Henson, last year was an odd one for him. I mean, he was starting. Then in February, he was benched in favor of Zaza Pachulia. That might be a hint to Henson that he needs to put a little more work into his game to maintain a place in the rotation.
And he recovers it. For the tie. Can't get it to go. Good D by Lopez.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Young's checked in for Brooklyn. The Bucks have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Bayless dishes to Carter Williams. Pass to Parker. 1:53 left in the third.
And offensively, he has been a liability more than he's helped this quarter.
Brown kicks to Lopez. The shot's good. Brown making the play. And that's now 11 points for Brook Lopez.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
The Milwaukee Bucks ended last season 41 up and 41 down, a perfect 500 mark, and they were the epitome, Clark, of average at the end of the season, and as you can see, even during it.
Well, they're a young team, but at one point 17-17, also had an 11-11 record against the East and 6-6 against the West.
Rebounded by the Bucks. Henson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. The jump hook.
That foul gives him 4, so he's got to settle down a bit.
And last season, the Nets made sure nobody went off against them. They would lose games, but they did a great job of limiting an opposing star from taking over.
And that one misses.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Michael Carter Williams. Bucks trail by 4. Here is Bayless. He's got 8. There's the dish to Mayo. Lets it go from deep. That is good. Mayo's got 8. Well, as you mentioned with the Nets, they limited takeover games, set an NBA record, in fact, Clark, by allowing the fewest 30-point scores against them.
Yeah, you know, only Harden and Lillard were able to get 30 points against the Nets. As you said, the first team to allow so few in a complete NBA season. Going back to '99, the strike-shortened season, the Knicks did it as well.
And still, I don't know that anyone can define what Giannis's position is. It's kind of still up in the air. I mean, he's played mostly on the wing a season ago, and thus far, maybe that could end up being the best fit.
Prior to last season, Giannis was experimenting with the point guard position for stretches during the summer league.
Well, you know, Kevin, he's just the type of guy whose size and length really allow him to guard every position.
True. Chris Middleton's checked in for Milwaukee. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Sloan. 6 on the shot clock. Young outside. The 17-footer. And that's off the glass and in. Young's got 11 points.
Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Nets out in front, leading by just 2. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter.
I gotta hold down the city. Gotta let you know where I come from.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested